up again. So we'll see how lucky we are.
Start up your engines, getting ready to roll. Gonna cruise on my bike now, music to the soul. Kickstand up, boots are best. Ain't gonna touch down till the road comes to rest. We're riding country roads, enjoying the day. We're riding for the love of the US of A. So catch a cycle fever, don't let it slip away.
Hey everybody, we tried to go live last night and there was a storm that came through, and along with the storm we got kind of buffered up quite a bit. So I thought what we do is we come back on this morning and kind of redo the show a little bit and tell you what we're going to do. First of all, I want to welcome you to Tuesday night, CycleFever North,
every time we'll stay that way until we change it.
We're going to 3 weeks practice runs to see how well things are going. If anybody that lives up in the mountains, you understand the internet. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So we're kind of at the mercy of the internet, but we're going to try our best to give you a good show and have some fun. The whole idea of CycleFeverTV
No, I don't mind copying them.
is I
just want the resolution to go out.
Now let me ask you this: we want to show people the adventures and everything that we have here, and so when we finally get everything set the way we want,
Let me ask you this question:
13-week episode
when
on
we
Fannin
go up
County
on the TriCast, we'll start a new session.
So
It
with
always
that
goes
being
into
said,
1080. Should we change that
CycleFever
for a new
TV
session
started
and let
out
it go lower? Would that make any
started
difference
back
or not?
in 2000, but we have been going for 5 years in Orlando through social media, and that is called CycleFeverTV, and they go live on Thursday nights. It's about 7:30, I think. But you can see if you go up and you click on either Facebook or you go to CycleFeverTV.com, follow us, you'll get notices when we go live. We want to be able to show some things that we do here on Tuesday night, on Thursday night in the Orlando audience, so they can also see it. We hope to merge the two audiences and have some fun with it. And
Yeah, you were telling me
that
if I
being
record-
said, I'm going to show you a
I
little
went
clip
in and I
of
recorded
something
it,
that we have done. I'm
so
here by myself.
like I said, I was going to go live, but then I got stuck.
Hopefully it
Because
works.
I forgot that I had to go
And
back
you
and
know
click
what? I did
stream
that for the
encode
So
for the live to come out.
turn the mic on.
I'm almost understanding this, John, so it's scary.
That's what life is like over here. And so let's see what we got. Are you ready? Let's see.
The Natchez Trace National Scenic Trail lies within boundaries of the Natchez Trace Parkway and extends 450 miles from Natchez, Mississippi to Nashville, Tennessee.
Native Americans were using it, the Choctaw, Chickasaw, and Natchez Indian nations were using it as just a footpath going through the woods. And then the European settlers who were up in Ohio, River Valley, they decided they had items for sale, produce and whatnot, that they would generate on the farm. Then they would build these flatboats and come down river on the Mississippi River down to Natchez, Mississippi, where they would sell the flatboat as lumber and then sell their produce, and then they would walk home. And it's 450 miles to Natchez.
Wait, let me stop you there.
Yes.
Walk home?
Walk?
Now 450 miles seems like a lot to ride, but even more to walk. Phil and I chose to start in Nashville and head south on the trace in hopes of still catching some color in the trees. Our first stop on the trace was a significant one for explorers like us. On this site, Meriwether Lewis of the famous Lewis and Clark expeditions was buried after a tragic and mysterious death in his house nearly 230 yards south of here.
You know, I kind of feel like we're Lewis and Clark, you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
And I take that I'm like Clark.
Well, Hank, you can't be like Clark. You're going to have to be Meriwether Lewis.
Why?
Because Clark's first name was William, and my first name is William. That's only natural.
In addition to commanding the famous expedition, Lewis was also a captain in the United States Army, a private secretary to President Jefferson, and a governor of the territory of Louisiana. Yet he never made one television show. Slacker.
What?
Wow, I'll tell you what, nothing like, you know, going out there and riding and having to have a stretch. About 100 miles or so, I'm going to take you down this trail. So why don't you come out with me? We're going down the trail.
You're taking me down the path.
Happy trails to you until we meet
Please tell me you're Dale.
Now this is a
Brisk walk. I don't know how you do it in your short sleeves, man. You must be a true mom.
Oh yes, that I don't have a jacket. So there's 13 graves here, Bill. They don't know who they are. This is the Confederate soldiers.
Yeah, they don't know if they were
I
wounded.
guess our wives have talked and we're going.
Walking back.
It says here's the original grave markers might have had names on them, but they disappeared long ago.
That's between those two. I just
So
know that,
this came
Jody
back in
and Linda-
1940 when they put this thing back
They
together.
don't know when they were killed.
Unknown. Unknown. This guy must have had a lot of brothers. Unknown. Bill,
His
I
lucky
know
got
that we've been
Tina
doing this
in,
the replay in the
Blairsville.
football, but I think that's a fumble. What do you think?
Very interesting play, Hank. I tell you what, I think this play has to stay.
Well, if you guys
That's
want it, don't matter.
conclusively?
Absolutely. The striped shirts have made a wonderful ruling for the first time in the outdoor
Okay.
sports.
All
All
right,
sports.
I'll tell you what, that's a wrap because that's good. This
Back up on
replay
the air
works.
again.
You know what I mean?
I know.
knocked it
For an
off.
instant replay, folks, stay tuned.
I
We'll
got the
be right back.
resolution down and it seems to be running. Well, I hope you like that. So if you want to check it out. That's a little bit of what we do. We go around and see different adventures. I'm going to show you a couple more things, but right now I thought I would show you, seeing that I'm here by myself, what it's like and how we do it. So I'm going to give you camera number 2. Right now I'm on camera number 1, but I'm going to give you the image that's on camera number 2, and I'll explain a little bit about how we do it. So usually I have Clyde Deering here who's been practicing, but because the weather's been bad.
Number one, I'm back
things
on
didn't work
again.
out
I
last
wiped
night.
off the
thought
one
I'd
because
come
we
in
did
and
it. I found a way to change the resolution.
So here it is. This is
If you get a chance to go on
basically
there,
our
look at it.
control area.
And
Right
I guess
over here,
I guess it
that's
goes up to
program
3 or
1.
3:30. I don't know.
or camera 1. And
Okay.
right now we're on camera number 2. So
Oh,
I'm gonna
okay.
make a
What I was gonna
switch.
say is if you
Well,
guys
if I
want
make
to
a
take
switch,
your
you're gonna
car
see what
there,
happens. I'm gonna hit auto,
and
then
then
go to
we'll
camera
meet
number 1.
because Mike and
So
Jody
there's
want to
camera
go.
number 1. I'm gonna hit it back again.
All right.
And we're on camera number 2.
All right.
And
so
these
far,
are
I've only been bumped
DVRs.
off
They're
for
kind of
once
like
and it's back
recording
up
things
running.
that we put in. This is
And I'll
DVR
show you
1
how to
here.
do the
This
resolution
is
when
DVR
time
2
comes.
over here.
It was
So
easier
if
than
I
I
click
thought.
on this, basically it's going to put up in the preview window, which is up here, what's coming up next. So let's
All right,
just
check
show
it
you
out,
now
and
the
then
DVR1.
you and I, when
and
you
that's
get a
what
chance,
would
you and
come
I
up
will
next
play
on
on this thing here,
DVR1.
and maybe
All right.
what we'll do is
I'm
just
also going to show
record the
you
show and then
this
play
is,
it back when we're ready next week.
DVR2. And that's what would come up next there.
All right?
So with that going,
All right,
I'm going to go
talk
back
to you later.
to
Bye.
camera number 1. That's in the program, in the preview window. Up here, we have what we call MEs. And MEs are the ability to put up a green screen and to put us in a simulated studio. I'm going to see if I can bring one up and let's see what happens. Okay.
In the remote corner of Claiborne County are the remains.
So I didn't want it to play, so I'm going to put that back a little bit. But anyhow, this is our studio. When Clyde's here, you won't see the window and everything behind me. You will see me sitting in the studio. What you see in the screen there is what's going to come up next. So I'm going to go back over here and put this up. Anyhow, that's a quick little tour of what we have in front of us and what we work with. I am now going to go back to, let's hope, camera number 1. So let's see, there's camera number 1. So far, so good. My next thing coming up is going to be in DVR2. So that's in the preview window. So that's good. Let me tell you a little bit more about what we're doing. Again, I'm recording this and we're going to send it out. This weekend, we went to Panama City Beach and did Thunder on the Beach. And it was packed.
So we're gonna need it 4 then, not 3?
It took us,
All right, you better let Jody know.
to go 8 miles, it took us an hour and 45 minutes.
Because they're gonna come over here
The
to
roads
Tuesday
were
or
just
something.
jam-packed between cars and motorcycles and everything else. The Thunder on the Beach is kind of like a mini Daytona, Sturgis, but they were loaded. I mean, because of the COVID this year, everybody just wanted to get out, and it was a great time. And everybody that I talked to over there enjoyed every bit of it. So, with that being said, we went there and we filmed one of the bands over there. And the band is one of our favorites. It's called Big Engine. So, if I don't screw this up, we should be able to see Big Engine. So, let's see. Well, there you have it. We had a great time. I got to tell you that while we were there, I met that guy. He is a blast. He's the nicest guy around. I'm going to tell everybody, I have what's called short-term memory because I can't remember much, and I'm also dyslexic, so if you see something and I write it up there and it's misspelled, that's me because sometimes I use spell checker, but most of the time it looks right to me and I'll put it up there. But, again, what we do is CycleFeverTV, both CycleFeverTV in Orlando and CycleFeverTV North is what we're going to call our new segment. We wanted to have the community call us, tell us if they have something going. Sooner than later, we're going to end up having the ability to Zoom. So if you live in, say, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Alabama, and you've got a function going, let us know. If nothing else, we can Zoom in and talk to you about your function and let people know what's going on. We started off as doing what we call motorcycle adventures. We go to different places. And now we do cars, we do concerts, we do charity runs. We do things for the community. So if you're going to have something going on in the community where you live and you want people to know about it, if you get in contact with us, you can go to CycleFeverTV Facebook and message us, or you can go to our website and go to CycleFeverTV.com and let us know what's going on, and we'll get back to you. Our crew, basically IT John takes care of most of that, but it's a lot of fun, and we'll get back with you one way or the other. When we went to Thunder on the Beach, it's the first time that the whole crew has been together in over a year. And I'm going to name you the guys. We got Crazy John, and Crazy John, he lives up to his name. IT John, he does basically the stuff with the computer and everything else. And we have Shawn, we have Mike, the one and only Brittani, and then, of course, there's me. And we just decided to make Mike's wife our den mother, so Raylyn is out there too. Hopefully we'll get some pictures of Raylyn. She has to sit there and watch all the equipment and make sure that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. Now, with that being said, I want to go over here and show you something that we had shot. And again, this is part of an adventure. And when we talk about adventures, Fannin County has so many things to offer, and people don't know about it. You have to kind of search them out. And so that's what we're going to try to do, is show you all the different and neat things there are here in North Georgia. I'll give you a couple examples. One of my favorites, and everybody laughs, is the Bigfoot Museum. You got to go there. You got to see it. All right. They have something called Tank Town. You go there, you pay your money, you run a tank, you run over cars, and you can shoot a 50 caliber machine gun. I mean, what more can you ask for? There's a place called the Chastain House. It's a haunted house. I'm going to put Brittani in there because I know she can handle it. I'm not sure the guys can, but I know Brittani can. But anyhow, we do adventures. And this is another adventure that we did. It was out of the way when we were doing the Natchez Trace. We found it. It was really, really neat.
In the remote corner of Claiborne County are the remains of the elaborate Windsor Mansion. Reminiscent of Athens, Greece, the huge standing columns are all that's left of the 25-room structure built in 1859.
But you got to get off the beaten path, and when you get off the beaten path, it costs us nothing to come here. Absolutely nothing. Just a little bit of legwork to find the place. And once we found it, this is history. This is something that you can read about, but if you're over here and you actually see it, it's just mind-boggling to see something like this in the middle of nowhere.
The mansion was designed to reflect the height of Southern life at the time, and is even rumored to have served as an overlook for Mark Twain. During the Civil War, the mansion was used as a Union hospital and an observation post. Ironically, it survived the war between the states, but gave way to a fire at the young age of 30 years when a house guest discarded a lit cigar on the upper balcony. The only image of the mansion in its entirety is a sketch made by a lieutenant from Ohio during the relocation of the Union troops headed for Vicksburg.
I tell you what, the scenery's gorgeous. What do you say we beat Pete down the road and see what else is coming up?
Let's load up and go.
Now, when traveling the Trace, it's important to realize that this isn't a populated road, and precautions should be taken for gas and lodging. In fact, the Trace is probably more equipped for the travelers during its heyday.
Well, I can't think of a better way to spend the morning than sitting here at beautiful Melrose home in Natchez, Mississippi. I'm sitting here with Ron Merrill, who's one of the rangers here, works for the National Park Service, and Ron is going to tell us a little bit about this beautiful home.
Yeah, Melrose is probably one of the nicest homes in the city of Natchez. There's about 50 homes that are still standing in the city from the antebellum time period, which means before the war. And Melrose was built 1847-48. Family moved in January 1849. It's built for John T. McMurrin. John McMurrin is an attorney in town. Melrose was his home, had 132 acres around his home. That's his yard.
How long would he have spent here in residency, say in a year, or would he have spent a lot of that time traveling from his plantation?
He did spend some time traveling. Most of the time was spent traveling with his court cases. And typically, this family and other people in the city would go to the Northeast or to Europe in the summertime. And generally, late May, early June, whenever his court sessions were over with. Then the family would leave. And in October or November, these people would come back home and come back to Natchez. And that's when they would have their entertaining season.
I want to tell stories, but I stayed here about 10 years ago.
You did?
As a bed and breakfast. How long has the Park Service had it?
For 9 years.
Oh, okay. So right after I left, the Park Service took it over.
Correct. Yeah. The last owners of the house, which is the Calhoun Petroleum Company, sold it to the National Park Service. Primarily because of the quality of the home, the grounds, all the outbuildings, the furnishings. Very little has changed on the outside appearance of these homes since the 1840s when the house was built.
Well, Ron, I want to thank you. CycleFever is very fortunate to be here today. And I tell you what, Hank always manages to scoop me as far as hats and trinkets and novelties go. So I tell you what, I feel like we got a trade coming on here, Ron.
You do.
We got a Tennessee Bicentennial Mall hat here. What do you say? You think we could make a little deal on this? I tell you what, even if we just do it for Hank's benefit.
For Hank's benefit, he's a pretty good man. All right. Yeah, we'll do that for a bit.
I have scored a coup. Hank's got... Look at this! I got me a Ranger hat, man. What do you got?
Ron and I are trading back.
Well, that's my good buddy Bill Young. Bill Young lives here in Blue Ridge, and back then he and I were teachers, and when we weren't teaching, we were out filming. If you ever run into Bill, you can tell him you saw him on CycleFeverTV North. I tried to get him on, but Bill's gone into a shy stage lately. I don't know why, but anyhow, what we want to be able to do is kind of showcase everything that's out there. Let the people in Blue Ridge call us if you got something neat going. I know we can pause in the park. You got the train. You got the light up Blue Ridge. All sorts of neat things that go on. We have breweries, barbecues king around here, some great restaurants. We want to be able to showcase those. I'm not going to take up much more time. I'm going to say thank you. I'm going to tell you that CycleFever TV, we have a little motto, and that is join the adventure and enjoy the ride. And if I do this right, we should have an ending.
So catch a cycle fever, don't let it slip away. We're rocking the blues, it's a bike away. Yeah, yeah, the bike away.